Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Buckle up. It's a power rankings episode. You're going to hear about your team. Me and Trev have never been this far off. Let's talk ball.
Oh.
No.
Yohan Duran, out.
Jacob Wilson.
You're out.
Double down the line.
No, ground ball to Carlos.
Threw it away. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek, code Talkin 2025. I am Jake Storielli, at Talkin Jake. That is Trevor Plouffe, number 1 in your hearts, number 3 for the Oakland Athletics.
Yes.
Number 2-4 for the Twins, Phillies, Texas Rangers. Rob Scirocco is here. Get ready, people. I'm going to be honest with the people, because we're normally not. It's all just fucking lies. Whoa, Jake's coming in hot today. I'm going to be honest with the people. Power rankings. These episodes have done well for us. That means you guys like them. I was nervous about how often we should press the button, right? Because, we can't just do it every episode. I think we want to space them out, 3, 4, 5 a year. We'll see. I am so excited because the early talk we have done and me and Trev putting our list together, we have teams 12 rankings apart. Like this is gnarly. I'm a little in shock. So is Coach Trev. How are you, Big Daddy?
Power rankings are tough for me because we do have our saying, power is power, which I do abide by for the most part, but sometimes you got to look at like statistics and standings just a little, Pop. I know that's dork stuff. Standings and statistics. I don't know, man. There are just some teams. I'm looking at your sheet. You're looking at my sheet. We just think differently on. I think that's this. We're going to get into that. I don't even know how we're going to navigate this episode because, if you look at our previous power rankings, which we have up on the screen right now, like we were pretty aligned.
Yes,
that was after 1 month, and there wasn't a ton of info out there, I guess you could say. And now I think we have teams that are like 10 spots apart. It's gonna be an interesting episode. Can't wait to hear your logic.
Yeah, not my strength, right?
Void of it.
No, I think it is funny that with the previous power rankings, we were pretty close. There was a couple gaps and a couple good talking points. These ones are all over, and I guess what we're finding out in the middle of May, we've got a sample size, but it's also you got to go with what you believe in a little bit. And, it's sure we have some records and there's a lot of teams near that 500 mark that, okay, so what do you actually believe in? Who do you think is going to kick into gear? Who do you think is just winning games just as part of the baseball season? And there's a few teams that you and I are not there with. So let me, just quick, towards the top of last month's list, you and I were both lockstep, Padres, Dodgers, 1 and 2. We both had the Mets pretty high. You were higher on the Mets. We both had the Phillies at 4. The Giants, they're an interesting one on this one. We both had them top 5. Cubs, Diamondbacks, Yankees, the dominant National League. And then I think some really interesting teams. The Texas Rangers, the Detroit Tigers, both of us kind of in a Milwaukee, which they're a tough one in this exercise. And then as you go down the list, I'm trying to see who else. The Boston Red Sox are a fun one. The Atlanta Braves, who are off to that slow start, they're big climbers on this list. Your Minnesota Twins are big climbers on this, bigger than some than others. Rockies, Marlins, White Sox, Pirates, Nats, still down. Still down
on the bottom.
And if okay.
I got one team that's really creeping towards the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I think people might know who that is.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the current Power is Power rankings. And speaking of power, it's brought to you by Hims. Fellas, if ED is getting you down, get some Hims going on. Get your confidence in other things back up. Hims provides access to treatments that can help you stay hard and last longer. Bang! So when the mood strikes, you are ready. Hims is changing the men's healthcare game by providing you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your own couch. Process is 100% online. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/talkin. That's hims, HIMS.com/talkin for your personalized ED treatment. The products mentioned are chewable, compounded products which are not approved by or verified for safety or effectiveness by the FDA. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Prices vary based on product and subscription plan. Coach Trev, we have different teams at the top. There's a 1, 2, 3 that we have the same teams, and fourth, excuse me. The fourth we have in the same spot. That's the Padres. Little teaser. There you go, San Diego. 1 to 4. I think Padre fans might understand why. They were undefeated at home early on. Essentially, they've had a couple slips up. One team has jumped them in their division that I think everyone's familiar with. Trev, why don't you give your top 3?
My top 3, and this is kind of hilarious because, we're 2 months in, 2.5 months in. So I can still remember my off-season takes and what people I put into the postseason. My top 2 teams I have missing the postseason.
Wow.
Which is
yeah.
But I had questions about them, and they've answered the fucking questions, Jake. So that's how you do it. That's how you do well in school as well. I have the Mets as my number 1 team in these power rankings. They're 19-11 in their last 30. They're 17-11 against teams with a winning record. And Jake, if you just go across every split on the standings, they don't have a losing split. They are above 500 in every single category. My question mark was the pitching staff. Obviously, that has not been a problem for them. They figured it out. They still have Sean Manaea waiting in the wings. He's I think, current rotation, great. Do I love them in the playoffs? I'm not so sure. I do think they need Manaea and a guy that can really, Senga can do it too, but Manaea can dominate a game. We saw it last playoffs as well. But they are just, everything is Mets right now. What do you want to talk about? They're 17-4 at home. 1-run games are 10-8 against right-handers, 23-13. Just every stat you want to go into, they are above 500. They are my number 1 team. My Tigers are my number 2 team, 20-10 in the last 30. So they're on a heater, 15-12 against teams above 500. They don't really, they have surprises all over that lineup, which kind of has me scared because it's a long season. And how many times have we seen 2 months of banging the ball around and then things disappear? I'm looking at you, Torque. I'm looking at you, Javi Baez. McKinstry's already started to take a nosedive in May. So I do still have questions about their offense, although I think they're leading the league in runs per game. I don't think they are actually, but they're up there. I still have question marks about both these teams, but the way they're playing right now, I think they're an undeniable 1-2. I have the Dodgers 3, and there is a ton of question marks for me on them right now. Calling them the best roster that's ever been assembled. That's if everyone's healthy and playing to their potential. There have been guys that have not played to their potential, and now we have Snell on the IL, Sasaki on the IL, Glasnow on the IL. They are Ohtani now, they're saying isn't going to pitch till after the All-Star break. So we thought they had 9 starters. Turns out they needed all 9 of those guys because they're facing injuries. So Mets, Tigers, Dodgers, my 1, 2, 3.
Great stuff, Trev. I went Dodgers, Mets, Tigers, Padres, as we mentioned at the start. Trev, where power is power, guys. You mentioned all the injuries for the Dodgers. The Athletics gave them the business last night. They don't care. They're a half game back for the best record in the National League, and their power is power. For all the reasons people know about the Dodgers. Let's see how thin the pitching gets. But again, they still have Yamamoto, who has an argument to be the Cy Young winner in the NL so far this year. Their bullpen is disgusting. And you mentioned their stud potential Cy Young winners that are hurt. It's May, Gonsolin, your boy Landon Knack. I just think they are still it felt like they have not kicked into gear yet, and somehow they're a half game back of the Mets.
Is that a red flag to you though?
No,
because I feel the same way. Like they haven't played great baseball, but we're 2.5 months into the season.
But I think, and they have the second.
Is that a good thing?
They have this going. If they went back a day, I think they'd have the best record in baseball. So like,
I know
I have that as a fantastic thing. Like, imagine if they click. And that's actually the same argument I have for the Mets, but it's starting to happen. Juan Soto, his first month of the season is traditionally his worst month of the year. He is one dotting this month. He gone. Pete was carrying that offense for a while. Lindor is kicking into gear. Vientos is kicking into gear. And they're pitching it. We've talked about it a lot at this point, but when you can tap on a Griffin Canning and make them a high-level starting pitcher, again, I know it's weird. I want to see them add something to their bullpen. I believe in what the Mets are doing. I think there's more in them. I don't think they've played their best brand of baseball, and they have the best record. That I still think the NL is so much better than the American League. I do believe in that. That for me, it was Dodgers, Mets, and then when I jumped to the American League, I was like, hey, do my Yankees have a fight for the Tigers? Like, if we're throwing records out the window, the Yankees, the offense has been number one in baseball. It's a lot of blowout games, but you also can't hold that against them. Like, that's the goal. Dude, the Tigers stats are unreal. And I know what you're saying, and you look at the name, like if you look at the names on the Mets lineup and you look at the names on the Tigers lineup, Padres, Yankees, wherever you want to jump, and then you look at Detroit, you're like, this doesn't feel right. Trev, I don't care. They're third in runs. They're fifth in average. They're fifth in on-base percentage. And with the way they throw the ball, man, I know one of my Red Sox buddies was tweeting last night the Baez game. My goodness.
Oh, gosh.
But he tweeted last night, and he uses Twitter. Shout out to my guy, Sheedy. He uses Twitter like the old the 20 teens days where you just tweet stuff. And he's like, really? Every guy that pitches for the Tigers throws 98? Yes.
Except for Tommy Kahnle.
Well, changeup.
Yeah.
I think he can throw 98. He's big boy. He just throws that changeup. I'm full respect for what Detroit is doing. The Glaber signing is going swimmingly. What has Javi Baez turned into? And that's before you get to like the stars of the team. So I'm in on Detroit. I just think the Dodgers and Mets should still be treated at a different level.
Okay. Yeah. The one thing I have with the Tigers, I think they are going to have to. Well, they have starters, but if we're talking about, hey guys, like we're not the little darling anymore. If we're the best team in the American League, and we want to win the World Series, okay, Scoobs is going to be your guy. Casey Mize has been incredible. Do you know how they acquired Reese Olson? By the way, he have a 3-3.
I don't know. In
2021, they traded him. They got him from the Brewers. And this is no slide on this guy. He's actually a really nice guy. I actually buy his merch because he shapes surfboards now. Daniel Norris in 2021 went for the Tigers to the Brewers, and they gave up freaking Reese Olson, dude, who's been really good for them. They're searching for the back end of the rotation. We've seen flashes of Jackson Jobe. Flaherty's had a couple bad games that have inflated his numbers a little bit. I'm wondering what their move is at the deadline. Like, is it a starter? Like, they don't really need bullpen help. Is a bat available? I'm not sure. I like the Tigers right now, man. And like I mentioned, the Mets and Tigers are a huge miss on me for the offseason. Maybe not a miss, but they've answered the questions I had.
This is a little dumb because everyone needs something come the trade deadline. Every team can get better. If the Tigers stood pat, I would also just be like, okay, like there's a lot in their lineup I like. There's a lot in their pitching I like. They have pitchers on the aisle that can come back at different points this season that Parker Meadows is supposed to be a guy for them. Your guy, Matt Vierling, like they haven't been involved. So like
I'm curious about those two guys as well. Like when they come back, Hobby he's out of center field, right? Do they put him at third base and
do you put him back at shortstop? That's kind of, no offense to Trey Sweeney, but that's one of the weaker spots on their team. Can Javi just do everything again? I think
third base is their weak spot in their lineup right now.
Can Javi just do everything again? Because it looks like it. It looks like it. The call on that home run last night, Benetti, our guy, we should have him on. It's magic in Detroit right now. It's magic in Detroit.
Jason Benetti giving me and Corey Probus a ride home right after the Tigers Twins series. Just like he understands how to get in and out of the stadium so fast. Oh,
that's such a good play-by-play. You watch your guy Michael Kay leaving a Yankee game, like he knows he's out.
Oh God,
he's home.
He's going like this to people on the way out, just chucking the deuces up to everybody.
You can't stop him. Oh, El Mago. That was awesome. That was a fun one to catch on my couch late last night. Trev, I mentioned the Padres. No offense to our Padres faithful. I think they understand the conversation. They still have their power. The Tatis walk-off night last night. My goodness.
Walk-off night all around baseball. Tatis is a menace. Yeah, I think the Padres are very, very good. Right. I do. Their bullpen has shown some leaks as of late, but that's going to happen throughout a season. I think they are one of the most complete teams in all of baseball. I think Cease is better than his numbers. Darvish is on his way back. Like, this is a team that could jump right back up to the number one spot. Like I have no issues with the Padres whatsoever. Even Luis Ariz is raking now. Like, give me the Padres, man. They're a fun team to watch. So putting them down 4 is not really a slight at them. I just think some other teams maybe are playing a little better right now.
They've deserved it. Trev, I didn't realize this, but we have another group of 3 that we have 2 teams flipped. I'll introduce it a little bit. I'll puff my chest. I put my Yankees at 5. I think there's a little bit of, I don't want to say anti-Yankee, but I'll say it. No, this team went to the World Series last year. Their offense is number 1 in like every category. Every category. There are question marks about the rotation. It hasn't been hurting them as much as you'd think. They're winning a lot of ball games. They're first in the East. I think they're clearly the second best team in the American League. That I went Yankees, Phillies, Cubbies. And you went Cubbies, Phillies, Yankees, which, again, these are power rankings, and we're still splitting hairs a little bit. But I guess for me, we have the Phillies in the same spot again. Look at that. I guess give me your Cubbies argument.
I think the Cubs, and I've said this a bunch about them, they can just beat you in so many different ways. They can beat you with their defense. They can beat you with their power. They can beat you with their speed. I think the starting pitching obviously is interesting to me. I think they could use an upgrade there, especially after, Justin Steele going out early in the season. And the bullpen has been shaky, but I think those are 2 areas where they're going to improve. 17-13 in the last 30. They're 19-16 against teams above 500. I don't know. When I watch them, I think this is one of the best teams in baseball. So it was those groups of teams, Cubs, Phillies, Yankees. I think they are a good group as far as, each team has a hole, if you will. But I don't have them so far above the Yankees. I mean, I have them 2 spots above the Yankees. I don't think there's a huge difference between those clubs.
Yeah, and the Cubbies, I think where I can be proven wrong in the next week or so, Trev, I didn't realize this. They had one more with Miami tonight, White Sox, Miami, and then Cincinnati. So for the Cubbies, our guy Ian Happ on the IL, but they called up your guy, Moises Ballesteros. Watch out. Yeah, that pitching. I know the starting rotation has been fine. If I just read you the names for the Cubbies,
yeah, the names are interesting, but so are the names of the Mets, and they're the number 1 team on my rankings.
Right. But I think they've kind of proven themselves as a pitching factory where the Cubs have been around it. But I guess that was more so in defense of my Yankees, where sure, you can point to young Will Warren in the rotation, hopefully finding his way. You were like, before the show, you're like, it's, Fried, Rodon, and then it, becomes a lot more questioning. If you put them side by side with the Cubbies, it's kind of like, I think people would pick the Yankees a little bit on name reputation.
I think they're pretty damn close.
I agree with you, but I think
Shota and Fried are a wash. I mean, I know Fried's been better this year, and he's been incredible. He's the AL Cy Young front runner right now. Right. I'd assume. I guess I don't really haven't looked that up.
Yeah,
pitched really good.
Whoops.
And then Rodon and Matthew Boyd. I'd probably take Rodon, although Matthew Boyd's been excellent. Colin Ray has been great. Ben Brown can be good, I think.
Yeah,
he just needs to kind of figure it out.
He's got that young.
Needs to be better.
He's got that young pitcher. When the ugly inning comes, it's still fight or flight.
Limiting the damage is not something that he's been able to do.
But
back end of the rotation is what it is. I think the Yankees bullpen is better than the Cubs. The Cubs bullpen has been atrocious.
I think if it was both these pitching on paper, I think people would pick the Yankees right now. Especially Shota's hurt, but he comes back.
And I know the Yankees are number one in everything in offense. I still think the Cubs are a more well-rounded baseball team.
I agree. I mean, their defense is special. And again, maybe this surprises people. The Yankees, it's a lot of big blowouts, which, again, I shouldn't penalize them for that. But also, if there were numbers that were like, okay, if you take away team stats when they're up 6, I don't think the Yankees would be the best offense in baseball, which maybe that's dumb. Maybe it's not. Trev, give me 30 seconds on the Phillies, because I don't really know what else you say besides they're still that Phillies team we know and love.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think they do everything well. Bullpen is an issue for them as well. I mean, that you can kind of who doesn't have an issue with their bullpen? That's a running joke on our show. Hoffman, although I think Hoffman's been getting touched up a little bit lately up in Toronto. Romano was getting hit around early. He's been better as of late. I think that's one area they can improve, but the rotation is great for them. Nola really hasn't came into form, but as Suarez comes back, I mean, they're deep, man. They kicked Taijuan Walker, who he doesn't have the best career stats, but he is having a good start to the season. They kicked him to the bullpen. I think rotation's great. I think I still really believe in this offense, although sometimes they freaking sputter, man. And these guys, they haven't really gotten in sync yet. They're going to be there at the end of the year.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if it changes. I haven't done a ton of schedule watch. They got Pittsburgh and Colorado coming up, which that
helps teams. It helps teams a lot.
Get me a Phillies Mets series.
Phillies 16-14 in the last 30. Here's the thing: they're 12-14 against teams above 500. That's kind of I look at that. It's interesting to me.
Yeah.
But they still have the squad.
Oh yeah. I think this kind of stops a first tier, and as we go into our power rankings, the rest of it is brought to you by T-Mobile. Today's episode of Talkin' Baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile, the network we trust, whether we're at home, the ballpark, or the road. Whether you're watching the Fathers put up 21 runs, yikes. Maybe you're traveling for Mother's Day and you keep one eye on your team. All season long on America's largest 5G network with T-Mobile. Thanks to Magenta Status, you got a bunch of perks. Discounted tickets to MLB games, hotel deals, free in-flight Wi-Fi, perfect for trips like heading to the Derby. We've started to do some all-star game planning. Giddy up! T-Mobile, the best 5G coverage in the game. Learn more at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Big thanks to T-Mobile as we go through this baseball season with them. Trev, this is where things start to get a little more hostile. I'm going to bring one team to the table, and it's the Atlanta Braves. I went Giants, which I don't know how much Giants talk we have to do. You did slide them down a little deeper than I thought. I think people may understand that conversation. NL West, the hot start, slowed down just a little bit, swept by your Twins. I have the Atlanta Braves at 9, and this was my first one that I was you have to respect the standings a little bit, right? Because, you got to win ball games. For me, we've come so far from the Braves should be this dominant Braves team, and they haven't shown a ton of that. But they also started off 0-7. That if you took that off, where would the Braves be in these power rankings? And they haven't gotten Ronnie back yet. And it hasn't been perfect, but they've been chipping away better than I think it's felt. They just got back to 500. I guess for me, in the power is power world, I'm not ready to punt on my Braves.
No, they're 18-12 in the last 30. If you take the 0-7 away and just gave them a 3-4, that would put them at what?
Math guy.
They're 21-21 right now, so it'd be 24 and whatever.
You got it. You got 18. It. Quick math. Stanford.
24-18. If that's 3-3.
Right.
So I have them at 12. You have them at what? 9?
I put them at 9. So, yeah, I guess that's not crazy apart. But coming from our first power rankings, they moved up 11 spots for you and 8 spots for me.
I can't wait till Ron Acuna comes back. I want to see him and Schnitt in the dugout. See what happens.
Right?
I think they're going to be boys. I think sometimes, a couple alphas get together and just talk a little shit to each other. All of a sudden, they start hugging.
Yeah.
Have a handshake or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's
excited to see that.
Some good.
I bought stock at 0-7. I'm buying stock now. I just think there's more to go. They got to keep going for me.
That's fair. I guess your team that I have at 11-8. So this is kind of the same trade-off is the Seattle Mariners. Who they've won a lot of series. Again, if they had won 9 in a row series, so maybe that's a little in my head. If we had done this a week ago, would I have just been a little bit higher on the Mariners? Again, the 8-11 gap isn't as big as it is, but tell me why you're in.
You mentioned the 19-11 last 30. They've been winning a ton of series. Logan Gilbert is still not even there, so they're getting a couple of starting pitchers back. The offense has showed up, and I like when there are tangible things you can attach to the offense. The strikeouts are down. New hitting coaches are there. Randy Arozarena with a huge on base streak right now. That's not his game either.
Right.
Getting on base. So he the approach is working. JP's been great. He had a walk-off last night against your Yanks. So I also think we shit on Julio Rodriguez a little too much. Maybe he hasn't been the superstar yet that we thought he would be after his rookie year, but he's been a damn good player. Plays a hell of a center field. The offensive statistics, I think, are going to get better. It's always a slow starter, but they're a pretty complete team, Jake. And we've been waiting for this. We've been saying this for years now. Give us a little bit of offense. We're going to see a great Mariners team. And I just wanted to give them credit. I have them at 8. I think they deserve it. 15-12 against teams above 500. I'm in.
Okay. Yeah.
Elite back into the bullpen. Okay. What's not to like right now?
I agree with you. Senor Smoke last night. Always a fun watch. Let's see. Who else do we have in here, Trev? You go Mariners, Diamondbacks, Guardians, which Guardians were a tough one for me. Giants, yes. And then the Braves.
Look at the Guardians' record.
I know.
They're 25-17. They have the 5th best record in baseball. Their run differential is not good. It's minus. But they are – I don't understand it, and Cleveland and Guardians fans laugh at me all the time. So I just don't get it, dude. Okay, this is what you can say about them. They win close ball games because they play in a ton of them.
Right.
So they know how to win those games.
Good bullpen.
They have a good bullpen. The starting pitching hasn't really been there. They're just an enigma, dude. They just win baseball games.
They're one of the fan bases that should be mad at me. I put them at 15. If I'm being honest with the people, I probably should have had them a couple slots higher. The way I was writing my list, I was putting the numbers, and then I had to delete them, and I just had to move the Guardians just a little bit. But also, if I'm being real with my heart, if it wasn't the Guardians' reputation of this team just kind of wins, I wouldn't be in love with this team. I would have them. I put them at 15. And if I think the follow-up to this conversation, and we actually have these teams flip-flop. This is beautiful, Trev. I have the Royals at 10, You have the Guardians at 10. You have the Royals at 15. I have the Guardians at 15. I still like the Royals over the Guardians. I think their best product is better than the Guardians. AL Central Trev checking in.
Yeah. Okay. I have Royals at 15. I guess I like Royals starting pitching better. And that's about it. I think I like everything else.
Yeah.
About the Guardians better than the Royals. I think they have a deeper lineup, although that's not really either team's strength.
Right.
If you're going top player, obviously Bobby Witt takes the cake, but
Jose Ramirez right there,
no slouch. Yeah. So I do think with between Kwan, Manzardo, and Jose Ramirez, those are guys that can win you a game. And then we have some other guys that might show up from time to time. That's kind of like the Guardians call. Is it going to be freaking Daniel Schneemann out there in center field? I always make fun of Rosie. I'm like, dude, you just have these random dudes just showing up for your team. I get jealous. Is it going to be Arias? It could be anybody. I think I like the bullpen in Cleveland better. I do.
I don't know if I do.
Okay, well then that's how we disagree. That's how I have
either
mine
way.
At 10
either way, it's a discussion, right? Like the Kansas City's bullpen is numerically better. I understand the Guardians, but I mean what Estevez and Urseg have been on the back end for them is lights out. God, the AL Central always gets us.
I'm curious to see where you have the Twins because I don't have the sheet up in front of me. I don't have them as high as I thought I would have them.
We will get to the Twins. We're not as far off as you'd probably hope. Let's see who else in this range. Okay, I guess I have my next kind of hot take. Well, let's go out west, young man, because these are
let's go to the Bay Area.
These are two teams. Well, okay. If you have any Giants thoughts, I guess let them out. They're in that puddle that again isn't super separated. I think they're.
Where do you have them?
I have them higher than you. I have them at 8. I think where the record stands. You just saw the Twins give them the business, so I think you're a little lower on them, and that's okay. That's fine.
The Twins played really well against them. Right. No fault of the Giants. Chris Paddock came out of nowhere in a game against them. Joe Ryan outdueled Logan Webb, and then they walked him off.
And they're all one-run games, so I guess I didn't penalize them for that. The red-hot Twins. Trev, the teams I wanted to jump to, the Texas Rangers and the Athletics. I have the Texas Rangers at 12. That probably is my spiciest one. Because they don't deserve it. I will be honest. They do not deserve it. But for me, this is middle of May. I should still have some of my thoughts from the beginning of the season, and I should not be fully flipped yet. I thought Texas' offense was going to be electric. I was telling myself Jake Berger's going to hit 30 from the 8-hole. He got sent down, just got called back up.
You might hit 30 in the 8-hole.
He just got called back up. Trev, I can't believe how good the rotation is.
Me neither.
Evaldi, he's making a push for that AL Cy Young. DeGrom looks DeGrom-ish. Tyler Mahle, Jack Leiter at times. Your guy Patrick Corbin has been fighting. That they're starting pitching 3rd in ERA, 1st in WHIP. That if you told me the Texas Rangers were going to do that, I would tell you they'd be the first to 30 wins this year or something like that. They are not. They're 22-21. But with how bad their offense has been, I'm currently taking that as a win. I understand how that could be taken as a loss because, God, this offense at times has looked lost. I'm not ready to get off of my Rangers.
Look, dude, we've been making excuses for the Rangers now for 8.5 months?
Year and a half.
Oh, World Series hangover. Okay. Right. Now, they're just offense is slow to get going. Okay. Dude, they're a half game back of the A's. I understand that. When I look at the A's play baseball and then I look at the Rangers play baseball, the A's are just having more fun. They look like they kind of want to be out there. There are times where I watch the Rangers, I don't get that feeling. Okay. And look, I'm not going to penalize them. Like, their staff has been incredible. I love Nathan Eovaldi, but Tyler Mahle doing what he's doing is awesome. Seeing Jacob deGrom back out there doing what he's doing is awesome. The two young guys, Leiter and Kumar, like, I think better days are ahead. Okay. I do. Kumar's, they both need to figure out a fastball, which is crazy because that was kind of like their calling card was like, man, these guys throw 100 miles an hour. But, like, it's straight. And, like, they gets banged out. Like, they need to figure it. That was aggressive.
Can I ask you something, though? Trev, and I don't know if this was a clerical error. Do you know where you had the Texas Rangers?
Last time? Yeah.
This high. Time. 23.
Where I have them now? I have them 23, yeah.
You have them below Tampa. You have them below Cincinnati.
They're 13 and 17 in their last 30, Jake. I thought these are power rankings, bro. Not like, hey, they won the World Series in 2023 rankings.
Well, I guess here's the flip.
The A's are 17 and 13 in their last 30, so that's where I have the power ranking.
I have the A's at 21. You have the A's at 13, Trev, which that means that's a playoff team.
They're fun. I told people, I said, if this A's team is in the playoff hunt, come the deadline, don't be surprised. A lot of young guys. Their issue, Jake, right now has just been their starting pitching at home. Their starting pitching gets crushed at home.
So does everyone's.
Yeah. Everyone's. Like, you take them out, like, they actually have done well. Obviously, I do think that is kind of where 13 might be a little high considering what I see in the rotation. I honestly don't think they go and make huge deadline acquisitions, which kind of puts them down. But I think the way they're playing right now, like, I don't know, I wanted to give them a little bump up there, dude. It just makes sense to me. And yes, they just put the hurting on the Dodgers last night, and maybe that influenced me a little bit. But the way they've been playing lately, it's been a lot of fun to watch. Jacob Wilson, 2 homers.
Ooh. Just hope it doesn't get too bright for the Athletics. And if it does, they've got their Shady Rays on. Shady Rays, and they're better than ever. Shady Rays will be friends forever. Shady Rays. Shady Rays. They have you covered with premium polarized sunglasses that will not break the bank. They've been a huge part of our warehouse games, which go check it out. We had the Blitzball championship game last night. I won't spoil it if you haven't watched yet. One of me and Trevor is in that game. Anyways, if your shades go missing or take an unexpected hit, don't sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of it. Eyewear. Every pair is backed by their lost or broken replacement guarantee. If you don't love your shades, exchange for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. And they've got their best deal of the year. Code TALKIN. 35% off your next pair of polarized sunglasses. That's code TALKIN at ShadyRays.com. Summer's coming, people. You need some sunglasses. Go to ShadyRays.com. Code TALKIN. 35% off. Let's see, Trevor, in this middle area where, again, it's the middle of May. There's a lot of teams kind of around 500. On your list, like I mentioned, you went 10 to 20. Cleveland, San Francisco, Atlanta, the A's. Here's the Boston Red Sox, the Royals that were mentioned, Houston, your Minnesota Twins, and the Cardinals, the two of the hottest teams in baseball, the Brewers and the Reds. I guess amongst that, I'd love to hear the thoughts on the Red Sox and the Astros, because they're a very similar case study right now of we believe in it, but we haven't fully seen it.
I guess I'll start with the Astros. There's been some really, really good things happening down there in Houston. What we've seen out of Hunter Brown's been incredible. Framber's just kind of like been his normal self. So I think rotation-wise, they've been okay. Ronell's had some really good starts for them. Hader and the bullpen have been lights out. It's kind of like it's the offense that needs to wake up a little bit. Jordan, being hurt and then also performing the way he's performed is really tough for them. Like, he's their guy. That's their North Star.
Okay.
He is. I mean, offensively, like, he's
who's Altuve? The Milky Way?
He's their North Star.
Okay.
And then Jordan's the sun. Or is Altuve the sun?
I think Jordan's the sun.
The sun's a star.
Oh boy. Here we go.
I just went on a tangent. Yeah, I mean, look, Christian Walker really hasn't lived up to what he can be.
Yeah.
Jose Altuve has also struggled. Again, I mean, those three guys, if I'm going into the season and like who are going to be the three best hitters on the Astros, I'm probably going Yordan, Christian Walker, and Jose Altuve.
Yeah.
You know, and they just really haven't showed up for them. So I don't know. They're 16-14 last 30, 12-14 against teams above 500. I think right in the middle of the pack right now is kind of where they belong. Is there a chance they end up moving up in the rankings towards the end of the season? Sure, we've seen it almost every single year over the last 10. But right now, I think I have them accurately rated.
Know who might have just found another gear? Young Jeremy Pena has been going nuts. OPS in the 8s now, 2 WAR on the year, already up to a sneaky 15 WAR career. Like his shine his shine was as bright as it could possibly be.
Yeah.
The shine went away a little bit, and
he won World Series MVP.
Yeah, dude. He
last night, Paredes, another part of the walk-off brigade, and right into the Crawford boxes, baby.
I think are all of his homers in the Crawford boxes. Bobby, could you check that out for me? I know they were for a certain point. I don't know if he snuck in a roadie. For myself, I'll do that 10 through 20 range. I had the Royals, the Mariners, the Rangers, Astros, Diamondbacks, who you had at 9. I slid them down. That bullpen is scaring me. That bullpen is scaring me.
The only thing, though, if they remedy that, they're one of the best teams in all.
The rotation a little too. I know we believe in it, but it's got to get better.
I think they've been snake bit. Nice. A few games here and there that have inflated the numbers, but
I'm not out on them. I guess I'm also just scared of the division that there's always going to be someone ahead of them playing good the rest of the season. Guard dogs, Red Sox, Cardinals, Brewers, Blue Jays, your Minnesota Twins, and then the Athletics I mentioned at 21. So I guess for me, Houston and Boston can be a coin flip. I guess for me, Boston's felt a little more clunky, that I don't know if they should be penalized for that. Where Houston, there's a lot of numbers that it's like, okay, their starting pitching is 2nd in WHIP, but 15th in ERA. Like that, like their pitching on the whole could reflect a lot better. And I think, like you said, with a lot of their offensive guys, it hasn't gone yet. I guess in that back half of the 20s, is there a team, like we both have a lot of NL Central there, Brewers Cardinals is an interesting case study. Is there a team you believe in, or maybe next time you're like, I think one of these teams is going to be sitting at 11 next time?
Let me look at what I got here.
Okay.
It's going to be sitting at 11. Not really, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the Brewers. I think that's an interesting conversation. Tobias Myers got sent down. 3.86 looks nice, but he's walked a lot of people, I guess, and he got yanked from a game early. Pat Murphy's kind of had an interesting year there. Why is Tobias Myers in the minor leagues? If a Brewers fan can tell me that, besides, I guess it's the walks, and that's just not allowed if you're a Brewer.
Right.
But someone that can make the leap, I don't really have a team like that. Look, the Twins and the Cardinals, I have at 17 and 18. They're two of the hotter teams in baseball. We know they, on these winning streaks right now, 18 and 12 for both of them in their last 30 games. The Twins, people are going to hate on me. I do think the Twins have a good roster.
Hey, how about
they be a top 10 team in baseball? I don't know. I don't think so. But go ahead and look at what they got, guys. Their rotation and the bullpen have been great. They've been some of the best in baseball. In their lineup, go check it out. They got guys that have done it, man.
Right.
If Royce Lewis starts to be Royce Lewis again, which he just needs a little bit of time. He just hasn't seen a lot of pitching lately. He has got 1 hit on the year. I understand that, or 2 hits on the year, excuse me. And Carlos Correa, if he finds himself offensively, they could move up. And people are going to hate on that, but I truly do believe that. The Cardinals, to me, are a fun story. Their bullpen has just been incredible. Even the starting rotation, the same. They've been riding their pitching. Some of their younger hitters have showed up. We talked about Brendan Donovan a ton, and Wilson Contreras is starting to go as well. Like those are both fun teams. I think could move. I believe in the Twins a little bit more.
Interesting stretch for St. Louis coming up. Philly, Kansas City, and Detroit. So we'll find out a little more about them. When I look at their roster, it feels sustainable that they can be solid. Like I look at their rotation and I'm like, yeah, why not? I look at the lineup, yeah, why not? Man, your Twins, Trev, that pitching, it really is impressive that you're right. Like I think before the season, if we said if you had to pick the Twins offense or pitching, I think we would have went offense. That if that light bulb does come on, could be interesting with Minnesota.
They're always like the computers love the Twins pitching, and they are a very analytically driven team. I will tell you that right now, almost to a fault, I think. And I agree with you. Like I look at names and I'm like, okay, the back end of the bullpen, I understand because those guys are nasty. I do think the Twins have a kind of a bunch of like number 2 starters, which is a good, like it's fine. But yeah, the offense I think has a little bit more in it, and they haven't gone yet.
Trev, at this bottom 10 of the power rankings, you have the Reds at 20, Blue Jays, Tampa Bay Rays, Nationals, Angels, Orioles, White Sox, Pirates, Marlins, Rockies. I was Twins at 20, the A's, the Cincinnati Reds, my biggest dropper at -11, the Rays, the Nationals, the Orioles, the Angels, the Pirates, the White Sox, Marlins, Rockies. Within this, I think the team that jumps out to everyone is still Baltimore, the fact that they are there. We have them and the Angels together, one spot apart, which if you told Orioles fans that before the year, I think they'd be horrified. Is there anything to be said about the Orioles? Would we just say the same stuff? Like everything has to click, and it hasn't.
Yeah, look, Sugano's been great, and a lot of the times it comes down. We talk about pitching on this show. Eflin, I believe, did he come back? He just come back, or is he? He's close.
I think he was. Let me see. Activated on 5/11. So yeah.
Yeah. He made his start there. Maybe that helps. Maybe that gets them sparked. But it's just been lackluster to watch, almost in every facet of the game. So I don't. I mean, look, 11-19 in their last 30, Jake. They're sitting at 15-24. They have they're 26th in baseball in record. Like, I don't think we can continue to just say they're going to be better. They're going to figure it out. Like it just hasn't happened.
No,
8-16 against teams above 500. Like they don't really have a good stat.
They need Ryan O'Hearn has been very good for them. Their lineup is getting covered up by their pitching right now because their offense has been. If they were pitching middle of the pack, we'd be saying, what's wrong with the Orioles' offense? Instead, we're just pointing at the pitching. Their offense has not been good. Adley, 203, 298. Like, what are his last 162? Jeez. This is supposed to be one of the best players in baseball. Like, if you're making a top 50 list and Adley wasn't on it last year, people would be like, what are you doing, man? I don't know what you say about him right now.
Gunner's, look, I think you can talk about the positives. Like, Gunner's looking more like himself day after day. Jackson Holliday's figured some things out. He's had a couple different swing adjustments throughout the year. Last year was like getting the foot down like Ohtani. This year, his dad opened up his stance a little bit to give him a little bit more clearance. I love that Matt Holliday's like his hitting coach as well, because I'm going to do that with Teddy one day.
Yep.
You're right about O'Hearns, Mullins. Like, those guys have done okay. But all in all, the lineup isn't very deep. And then, the pitching just hasn't been there as well. I think they deserve they deserve to be ranked 26, dude.
Yeah.
It's where they're at in the rankings. They haven't done anything to get better or to prove me otherwise.
Yeah, I think we'll get into some final thoughts with this, and then I'll bet the cycle on Wednesdays. Final thoughts brought to you by DirecTV. Today's episode is sponsored by DirecTV, the ultimate destination for baseball fans. That's you. Bring you right into the heart of America's favorite pastime with DirecTV. Bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. Your team's star steps up, and with DirecTV's MLB coverage, you can watch all those moments. And people, you don't need the roof satellite dish anymore. Take the roof off. That's DirecTV. I mean, that's going back in time now. You don't need the dish. You just need DirecTV. Watch your favorite team score big with nothing on your roof. DirecTV, the most MLB games, no satellite dish required. Visit directtv.com/JohnBoy to stream live MLB games from the comfort of your couch or on the go. Trev, I think one of my final soliloquies that I'd like to give over this. I think I'm tapping out on my Reds until they make me come back. How about this? You mentioned the Texas Rangers and how you said it's been 8 months, a year and a half, World Series hangover, and now another 2 months, and it just hasn't felt right. When was the last time the Reds felt right? Like at 2 years ago when they had that hot summer and all these guys were hitting? Because since then, it hasn't really happened. It's TJ Friedel and Ellie this year. Otherwise, no one's really excelling. The pitching has been pretty good. And this is a team I've wanted to believe in for a while. Some of the people that we know in baseball have, I don't want to say rolled their eyes at the Reds, but they make it seem like the Reds have ignored some stuff positionally, defensive-wise, that it feels like they don't keep up with the Joneses that way. They're 20-23 in an NL Central that, again, the Cardinals are 23-19. The Brewers are slipping up this year. The Pirates are buns. That I'm sorry, for the Cincinnati Reds to get me back in, they need to get me back in. I can't keep saying like, ooh, my dirty little secret, and ooh, I like these Reds. Because I don't right now. I don't.
Shout out Emilio Pagan for closing out games for them a ton this year. Is that not out of nowhere? He had to be a minor league deal, right? Coming into spring training?
No, man. I think Pagan was good, got paid, became a bad bullpen contract, and now he's pitching well again.
He's on a deal.
Yeah.
He's on a 2-year, $16 million deal.
He was a reliever who got paid.
I enjoyed him. He was on the Twins for a little bit. Marty Fish used to text me every single time he'd come in the game and not be happy about it. You're right, though. You got me there. Shout out Emilio. I think a lot of the guys who we were counting on in the Reds offense to really step up or take the next leap, or they showed us something young and they just haven't gone. I mean, Spencer Steer fits that mold. Encarnacio Strand fits that mold. Matt McClain, who I thought might be the spark plug, the savior this year, right. He's got a 600 OPS. So they just haven't really clicked. Gavin Lux, who started off the year pretty dang hot, he's cooled down a little bit, 751 OPS. It just haven't gone yet.
Yeah, and
can't go. I don't know.
I'm not going to defend them. I think it's interesting. I asked you, and I didn't prep you on it, and I'm sorry. I was like, hey, those teams in the 15-20 range, who could you see flying up the charts? No, it's funny. I'm with you. I'm not bought into a lot of those teams, but it's funny that I think the Reds, if the offense clicked, it could win me back over. I think even the Orioles, even as a Yankees fan, I want to see the Orioles play like the Orioles we were promised at one point, but they've shown none of that.
If there's one team that the Rays, to me, I think.
Yeah, you like the Rays a little bit.
I do like the Rays. I like teams that could beat you in a bunch of different ways. But they just they've hit a little soft spot. 14-16 last 30, 11-17 against teams with a record of 500 or better. I don't know. I don't really believe in any of the teams. Even the Orioles. Okay, hey, the Orioles, everyone's going to start hitting again and say, okay, are they going to go out and acquire some starters? Probably not, because there's a bunch of teams in front of them. They're going to look for starters as well. So are they willing to give things up? I don't know.
I guess at the end of this, Trev, I'll try to end on a peaceful front. I would have slid my Athletics up a couple spots. They do deserve it. They play a good, fun brand of baseball. They've got a little bit of the we believe, and they can do a little bit of everything. Like they can have days where they pitch the ball. They can have days where they put up big runs. And they've got a back end of the bullpen. So maybe I should have been a little more respectful to them.
The offense has been very good.
Yeah. 7th in OPS, 6th in home runs. I probably should have said this at the start, and you guys are already letting us know. But if you're in the comments section, let us know. What do we get wrong?
What do you think's the most pissed off team or fan base?
Let's see. From my list, the most pissed off fan base should be the Guardians. They have an argument to be a top 5, 6, 7 team, and I have them at 15 just because the math doesn't make sense to me. What about you?
I think the Royals fans will be pissed.
Yeah.
I have them at 15. They've just been playing really good ball as of late, but I don't know. I think there's some holes there.
Yeah. Let us know, people. Again, I'm really happy with where this exercise has turned out because it's a great way to talk about a lot of the teams in a fun fashion. And God, I can't. Me and Trev normally we're in lockstep. I mean, God, Legolas and Gimli normally, but not today. How about that, Trev? Let's send the people out with the DraftKings Bet the Cycle. Try to get the people a little extra weekend quiche if we do it right. Every week with DraftKings, we're giving you guys one bet. A single should be the easy one. A double, triple, home run. It gets a little harder every step of the way. Last week, we got the double. The Tigers sweeping the Rockies on that doubleheader day. Doesn't seem hard, but win 2 games in one day is a tough one. Trev, do you want to bat first or second?
I will. We're going to go with a single here. And it's the Dodgers to beat the Angels in the Freeway Series on Saturday. Clayton Kershaw will be back off the IL. The Dodgers are 19-5 against the Angels since 2020. Kershaw is 10-2 with a 1.99 ERA and 16 starts against the Angels in his career. So we'll just say it, Dodgers to win on Saturday.
Like that, and I like this. Jose Ramirez, we mentioned him before. And, one of the Guardian secret recipes is top 5 player in the league every year. J-Ram to get 2+ total bases versus the Reds on Friday. So I'll keep going there. J-Ram, 444 batting average, 3 doubles and 2 homers versus Friday's probable starter for the Reds.
Yeah, Brady Singer.
Yeah. Trev, give me that triple.
This is Corbin Carroll territory, baby. I'm going with 2 things that have to happen. AJ Smith-Shawver to record 6 Ks or more versus the Nationals, and the Braves need to win that game. Smith-Shawver has been great since being recalled. A 1.42 ERA in 3 games. That's 19 innings pitched. He's averaged right around that 6 Ks per start. And the Braves, Jake, I don't know if you saw this. They're now sitting at 500.
Yep.
Entering Wednesday. They started 0-7, people, so they're playing better ball.
Man, that's a little triple parlay. Well, I've got the home run of parlays. And you mentioned Corbin Carroll triple, leading baseball in home runs. Yo. The home run is an NL West edition. The NL West is playing all other West Coast teams, and we've labeled them the core 4 of the NL West. Dangerous territory here. On Friday night, Dodgers play the Angels. Giants are playing the A's. Padres are playing the Mariners. D-backs are playing the Rockies. We're taking the 4 horses of the NL West all to win on Friday night. I am in on that one. A little West Coast rivalry weekend. The 4 powers of the NL West to win.
Love that. What kind of animal would you be?
Excuse me? What kind of animal would I be?
Like a little baby bear, a little cub.
In the dog world, I'm a corgi.
Yes.
Of all animals, yeah, I could see a little a bear cub or something like that. It's like a version of an intimidating animal that's been shrunk down. that's kind of my sweet spot there.
Like a Wolverine. Wolverines are scary.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll take that all day.
I can see that.
And this is, now we'll jump from animals to cars. My first car was a 94 Jeep Wrangler, which it was kind of like a smaller Jeep, and that embodied me pretty good. Like, yeah, this could tow some
Thick
wood.
body.
But not a ton.
Right.
Coach Trev. Wow.
I'm an eagle.
Wow. Yeah, you are. Hell yeah. Thank you, everyone. Let us know what we got right and wrong. Go check out the Warehouse Games. Go check out everything. I stink.
Isak Paredes, every homer in the Crawford boxes.
Yep. A little more value in Houston.
Jake sucks.
Sure. That's fine. No qualms with that.
No, are the Orioles dead? I don't know, Jake.
It's a fine
Close.
line.
They're dying.
It's a fine line.